Hi everyone, Marian here. A very warm welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make this video today as a really special one because the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the Jewish New Year, is coming up, and we are now in the Hebrew month of Elul. Elul is the last month in the Hebrew calendar year before Rosh Hashanah, and it's really special. Each day of the month we do special things to prepare our minds and our hearts and even our homes for the high holidays coming. And of course I want to hear what you guys are thinking about this month, so definitely feel free to share in the comments below. I can't wait to read them and chat with you guys all about your year coming up. So I wanted to make this video and show you step by step how I'm making my round challahs, my chalot for Rosh Hashanah. And as I go through the process, I just wanted to talk to you about the Hebrew month of Elul and some things I'm thinking about, some things I want to encourage you to think about, and just share about this really important time in our calendar year. By the way, if you're interested in my challah recipe, which I always say is the easiest challah recipe, you cannot mess it up, I will link it for you below. I even had some ingredients I had to sub this time around, and if you've been here on my channel for a while, you'll know that this is the first time I'm making it completely by hand without my mixer because my mixer broke after 10 years. After 10 years of making challah every week, it finally gave up on me. I do have a new one coming, but in the meantime, I'm going to be making my challah by hand for this video, and I actually really enjoyed the process. Did you just catch that I put in icing sugar instead of regular sugar in my challah? That was one of the substitutions I had to make this week, but it turned out just fine. So let's talk about the Hebrew month of Elul. So Elul, by the way, is thought to be an acronym. The name Elul, Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed. And the rabbis have this idea that it possibly stands for the phrase Ani ledodi v'dodi li, which is a phrase you hear at Jewish weddings. It means I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. And the concept is that we connect to the divine, to God, just like we would to our partner, to someone we absolutely love, to our heart's soulmate. And you'll hear this throughout Jewish writings, in the Psalms, in so many aspects of spirituality, this idea that we're connected to God in this holy partnership like a husband and a wife are. So that's the theme of the month of Elul, this connection to God and how to reconnect to God if we've somehow lost our way. So throughout the month, we're encouraged to do this accounting. It's called cheshbon hanefesh, accounting for our soul. And we use this month to really take stock of what we've done in the past year. Where have we missed the mark in thinking about Yom Kippur coming up after Rosh Hashanah? Where have we let ourselves and God and others down? And where have we fulfilled what we're here to fulfill, what our purpose is, what brings us joy and love and happiness, and where have we not? So each day we actually recite a psalm that we don't recite, at other times of the year. We don't have to do it every day at other times of the year, only during Elul. It's Psalm 27, and this is, I'm actually going to read it to you because it's got so many beautiful lines in it, but it's about this connection to God again, reaching out to Him, asking Him for help. One of my favorite psalm is Shema Koli Ekra, which is crying out to God to hear my voice. So let me read you a little bit of the beginning of it. LeDavid, of David, the Lord is my light and my help. Whom should I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom should I dread? When evil men assail me to devour my flesh, it is they, my foes and my enemies, who stumble and fall. Should an army besiege me, my heart would have no fear. Should war beset me, still I would be confident. One thing I ask of the Lord, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, to frequent His temple. He will shelter me in His pavilion on an evil day, grant me the protection of His tent, raise me high upon a rock. Now is my head high over my enemies round about. I sacrifice in His tent with shouts of joy, singing and chanting a hymn to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Shema Adonai Koli, have mercy on me, answer me. In your behalf, my heart says, seek my face, O Lord. I seek your face. Do not hide your face from me. Do not thrust aside your servant in anger. You have ever been my help. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me, O God, my deliverer. And it goes on from there. I won't read the whole thing, but I will link it for you. But there's so much beautiful poetry in that. And there's a reason we're asked to recite it every day. There's a few themes throughout this psalm. By the way, we also blow the shofar every day in the month of Elul, which is another very visceral and physical cry to awaken our soul and our spirit and speak to God. But in Psalm 27, there's a few different themes. The first is this idea that we're surrounded by enemies, that we're in times of peril, and we look to God for protection. The refrain you'll hear is to ask God to hear our blessings. And I always think this is such an interesting aspect of prayer, because God is this all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere being. Why wouldn't he be able to hear us, right? Like, of course God could hear us. Some people even believe God hears our thoughts, let alone our words and prayers. So I think it's really interesting that we're asked to say these things aloud and we're asking for God to hear us. And maybe there's this aspect of being accountable, right? Like, if we don't actually write things down, if we don't actually ask God to hear us, then it doesn't count as much, right? We may have just been a passing thought more than something we actually are committed to do. So this is the theme of Elul, that we really want to take our blessings and speak them loudly to God, to connect with God, and to also take stock in a real way of what we've done this past year, rather than just casually thinking like, oh, I think I've been, I've done good, I've been a good mother, I've been a good wife, or whatever is an important role in your life, to really maybe even write it out. Think about what you want for the year ahead, where you want your life to be this time next year. There's other themes in the month of Elul, one of which is an idea of unfinished business, that if there are things that are unfinished in the business world, but also in your life, in your family, and in your affairs, that you should really get to it. So things like making sure you have a will, making sure you're investing in your 401k, like whatever those aspects of your to-do list that are always being put off but are actually extremely important, this is the time to check those boxes. I love that this month also aligns with the back to school season, because to me this is always a time of the year where I feel like it is a new year for everyone and everything, like things are starting again, and interestingly it times up with fall heading into winter, but to me this feels like the right time of year where we can take stock of how things are going. So as for me, I definitely hope to take time this month to really take stock of things. It'll be me and my husband's 10-year anniversary this year, so I think that's a really important relationship that I want to focus on. We've spent the last 6 years now, making babies, having little ones around, and I think it's a good time to just focus on us and our relationship. So that's something I'll be thinking about, and also thinking about my role as a business owner and how things will evolve as my business and my YouTube is growing, and then of course as a mother and how I'm parenting my children as they're getting older. My oldest is going to elementary school, so that's a huge change coming up for us. And then as a friend, I really want to prioritize my friendships now that I have slightly a little bit more time, I think, hopefully, and really make sure I'm devoting myself and giving to those relationships as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and watching me make my round challah for Rosh Hashanah. There will definitely be a ton more Rosh Hashanah videos coming up. If you want to know when all the Jewish holidays are, of course you should download my Jewish holiday calendar, so check that out in the links below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos. They'll pop up on your YouTube video feed when you go to YouTube, and it really supports the channel. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. See you in the next one. Bye!